Shalom, shalom to the 12 tribes scattered. I want to share something really quick here. It's found in the third epistle of John. The third epistle of John. Let me give you some background here. In this book of Yachanan, John, this third epistle, the overall context is that there is this guy Diotrephes in the church who is not allowing preachers, elders, or those who are recommended by John himself into the church. He's actually kicking them out or altogether refusing anyone to come to his church, even those who are recommended by John, who walked with Messiah, who was taught firsthand by Messiah how to walk in truth, how to walk faithfully according to the word that is written, according to the Father's word or Torah. So this guy Diotrephes wants to have power. He wants to have authority over his congregation and refuses to allow anyone to confront him regarding his attitude toward respected men of the Most High. And so when I read this chapter, the first thing that came to my mind is today's evangelical church system. You have men who are behind a pulpit, who study and prepare themselves to preach what they call truth. However, the truth that they preach does not line up exactly the way it is written in its proper context, culture, and historical context. And so their foundation is off. Meaning, if the foundation is off, then the whole truth is off. And so this Diotrephes reminds me of modern day preachers who will not accept correction. They will kick you out of their churches if you ask them tough questions. They will forbid you to even challenge anything that they preach, which they learned in seminary. And so nothing has changed today. You still have men like Diotrephes in the church who refuse to walk in the truth. And you must understand that when John was writing this epistle, the context was the Old Testament. The context was that the Messiah was preaching and teaching nothing except that which his Father had already established. So today, look, in our time, we know those who follow Torah, those who observe the Most High and walk in his Torah, in his truth. Whenever we confront, I wouldn't say confront, but approach someone with what we know to be truth, according not to us, but to the written word, these men like Diotrephes, these pastors or preachers, call you a heretic, call you every name under the book, and refuse to welcome you, to at least give ear to what you have to say. So just so you can see how nothing has changed even today, you still have men like Diotrephes who want to have authority over the congregation, who want to have power over the congregation, regardless of what anyone comes to them to tell them, to correct them, to help them, walk the straight and narrow prescribed path of the Most High. Now, this is the same, if you look at the word Nicolaitans in the book of Revelation, where the Messiah, it's telling us that he hates the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. This is absolutely describing a Nicolaitan. A Nicolaitan is one who powers over people, who gains power for himself so that he can have power over people. He is the ultimate authority. He is the head of the church, not Christ, not Mashiach, not Abba Yah. So this structure, this Nicolaitan doctrine is well and alive even today. All you need to do is walk in on any Sunday church and you will see that the man behind the pulpit is revered as the ultimate authority and not the Most High Yah, not Torah, not truth. So this Diotrephes is a glimpse of what John was facing, or Yachanan was facing in his time. Now, if you look at let's take a bird's eye view quickly of it. If you look in verse 3 and 4, notice what it says. It says, "For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walkest in truth." Walkest. Verse 4, "I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth." The idea of walking in truth means character, means one's reputation, one's course of life. So what John is saying, he's loving what he's hearing. He loves the fact that he's hearing that these people are walking according to the truth, what Messiah taught and what his Father taught, and what the disciples were taught. But this guy Diotrephes has strayed away from the truth. He has walked away from the truth. He is evil and not good. What do you mean? Well, look down at your scriptures if you can. And verse 11 is another key verse. Verse 11 says, this is John speaking, "Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of the Most High Yah, but he that doeth evil hath not seen God." That's a very important verse. The word good means functional in Hebrew, means tov, which basically means that you are walking in the prescribed path that the Most High has established. Evil is one who's departed or twisted or perverted the path to suit his own selfish needs. Today, not all pastors, not all preachers have taken advantage of their flocks, but the vast majority of them have gotten wealthy, have prospered carnally from their truth, not the truth of the Most High. They are evil. They are dysfunctional. That's what evil means. It means dysfunctional. Good means functional. Functional according to Yah means good. Dysfunctional means evil in the eyes of Yah. So today, these men, these Nicolaitans, these preachers, pastors, are functioning in evil. I didn't say it. If you do a little studying, you'll see what I mean, and you'll learn the truth behind these words, good and evil. So in essence, John is commending those people who are walking in Torah, who are walking in truth, Torah. The prescribed path. That's what Torah is. It's the prescribed path. It's like a prescription medicine. That's why it's called prescription, because it's supposed to prescribe health, healing when you take the medication. In essence, when you take Torah and you ingest it, it is prescribed medicine for your soul. If you don't believe me, verse 2 says, "I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth." For the person who is walking in truth, who's walking according to the prescribed path of Yah and not of man, the doctrines and teachings of men, this person, his soul will prosper. His soul will prosper because he's taking the prescribed medicine, that is the word of the Most High, that is his truth, that is as it is written. So here, without a doubt, we start seeing the beginnings of the current model of the church system. This guy Diotrephes broke away from the truth and wanted power for himself. He wanted to be the head of the church. In the beginning, it was not there. The system that we have in place today in the church is not biblical. It is not. These were itinerary preachers, meaning they went out. Itinerary means one who travels from place to place. The Great Commission tells us to go out. It doesn't tell us to build 4 walls, add pews, and bring the people into the building. Now, I don't have a problem with that. If you want to use it as a training or any of that kind of stuff, but to actually just say that that's the church, no. The church is going out. Going out. But here's the beautiful thing about going out. When you learn from a Hebraic mind, the idea is that when we go out, our character, our life is the gospel. The way we conduct ourselves, good, functional, people will take notice. People will say, there is something different about that person. I want something he has. Whatever it is that's making him different from everyone else, I want to know what it is. I want that. That's the idea about going out. That is the Great Commission. It is the Hebrew word halak. Halak. It means to go out about among the people with a message. You are a living epistle. Just like Paul said. The word, you are a living epistle. The word is in your heart and you are walking it out. The truth is in you and you are walking it out. The epistles of John are fantastic. From a Hebraic mind, you will learn a lot of how the Most High wants us to walk, how he wants us to live. Don't be like Diotrephes in this book, who broke away from the truth and formed his own truth in order to take away the power from Yah and take it for his own. That's what's happening today. The doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which Jesus himself hated, is very well and alive today. What do we need to do as followers of the Most High? What do we need to do? The first thing we need to do is study to show ourselves approved. But study from a very deep perspective. Study the Hebrew. Get out a Strong's Concordance. Buy yourself an ancient Hebrew lexicon and study the word in the language that it was written. And if you really want to get really close and really want to know what the Most High is trying to convey in his word, you start studying the pictograph, which is that most ancient primitive form of Hebrew. It's pictures. Pictures. That's how the word was written. In the very beginning was pictures, hieroglyphics, if you can call them. That will really begin to open up and just allow the Most High to speak to you. Again, I don't want to make this too lengthy. Again, today we just wanted to show that this guy Diotrephes is a modern day picture of the evangelical church system, specifically the pastoral church system. And I'm not going to get into the other stuff as far as pastors, evangelists, and all that. No, I'm only going to stick to what the word says. And this is exactly what we see here. We see the modern day church beginning to take hold in the very beginning already. And there's a lot of history behind that. I suggest people start researching for themselves. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And please like and subscribe to my channel. And may the Most High bless you. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Shalom.